Welcome to Land Academy. I'm Jack Butala.
I'm Jill DeWitt.
We show you how to buy real estate for half of what it's worth.
And sell it on the internet really fast.
We are Jack and Jill,
and this is the Jack and Jill Show too.
With over 15,000 completed transactions, we're the experts at acquiring property.
Of all kinds, not just land.
For half price and flipping them for way more.
All right, let's get this show started.
Jack Butala with Jill DeWitt.
Hi.
Welcome to our show today, this Tuesday. In this episode, Jill and I talk about, hey, don't take our word for it. Check it out. Do the research. Check your resources. Just do some research and check it out on everything we say. Hey, before we really get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landacademy.com online community. It has several names, which we'll cover in a second. And it's always free, though.
Yep. All right. Kierriah asked, what do I do when a prospective buyer tells me there may be a POA, kind of like an HOA, a homeowners association?
Property Owners Association.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's the right way to say it. We always say HOA, but when we say, I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's okay.
She's got a wife look.
No, that wasn't interrupting at all. No, thank you.
Go ahead. Sorry.
All good. What do I do when a prospective buyer tells me there may be a POA, Property Owners Association fee for the neighborhood? I haven't received anything in the way of a bill since receiving the deed. Not surprising. May take a little while. So I have no idea if my property has a POA fee. This buyer wants to owner finance, so I may need to pay this fee for the next 3 years. Do I try to find out since he's making payments? Do I just wait to see if a bill comes from the POA?
These are all great questions, and I'm so glad this came up. The first thing you want to do when you're buying a piece of property, as part of the due diligence, whether or not to actually pull the trigger, is Google the subdivision name. If it's in a subdivision. If it's not, you're okay. And you want to and then you want to, if there is an association, you want to call the person who runs it, and you want to ask them all about what's going on there.
Wait, did you say you're doing this before you buy it? Because this is when you want it. Okay, good. Because you don't want to buy it and then find out later on they owed $1,000.
Well, the chain of events is this. You sent a ton of offers out. A bunch of them come back signed, or the seller calls you, whatever. And then you start to review the property. If you're new to the show or new to the whole concept, it's backward. Everybody else does it backwards and wrong.
Right.
We do it correct.
Exactly. Because everybody wastes hours and days and weeks on properties they're not going to buy. Yeah.
You only ever do due diligence on a property that the deal's already, the finances, the economics of the transaction are done.
Right.
So, in one of those things on the list to check it all out is a POA.
Right.
Here's a truth about POAs and HOAs. They have no idea when properties change hands, okay? And they're very unorganized in general. And I still get a bill every year from an HOA in Texas that we haven't owned property there, and it's been probably 8 years. So they don't have a direct connection to what's the recorder's office. They aren't notified efficiently. And unless some of the bigger ones will, they go there every day. And they see if anything's transferred, or they go to the website, or they're in the same building.
Right.
So, what was the question?
Let me help you out here, Jack. And it's to the POA and the HOA's advantage to know who the current seller is, because they want to make sure that person's getting a bill and paying them. That's how they stay. That's how they stay in business, obviously. So, Kierriah was saying, okay, so what do I do since I haven't received anything? Well, you need to reach out to them. And some counties that we work with, we're so in it, and we always just automatically, when we're recording the deed, we pay an extra $1 to have a copy made of it and sent to that HOA, so we know that they're notified of that, and then it's easy. And that's how they know. They need to see a recorded deed with the transfer, so they know if they're not going down there like Jack said, which I don't know many that really do. You need to help them out. So the buyer wants to owner finance, so I may need to pay this fee for the next 3 years. Yeah, you need to know. And I don't think that, honestly, I would not pay the fee. I would pass that on to the buyer, but you want to know, hey, don't forget this POA has a $30 a year fee, whatever it is, and make sure the buyer knows that. I'd roll it into the transaction. is what I would do. But so roll it into the transaction. Don't leave it up to him to pay, obviously. You're going to make sure it gets paid. It's going to come through you, but there's a little extra for that.
Kierriah, we're both proud of you.
Yeah.
She's been not a super... She's not one of the original people, but she's probably been a few months, right?
She's been with us for a while. Yep.
Thank you. She's very vocal on the internet and vocal in our group and asks a ton of good questions. And there is such a thing as a stupid question. And Kierriah doesn't ask.
No. You know, one of the things I noticed about Kierriah too, she's super good in social media. Mm-hmm. So I know that she's on it, thinking about properties and getting them out there in social media, because that makes a difference.
Right.
So, and that kind of leads into our show. So some of the things that I have to say about that. Yeah. So this will be good.
If you have a question or you'd like to be on the show, reach out to either one of us on landacademy.com.
Today's topic, don't take our word for it. Check your sources.
Research. Mm-hmm. One day, about a year and a half ago, Jill came to me and said, this is after we started landacademy.com. I think it was probably even still a .org back there.
Yeah, I think it was a .org, yes.
And she said, there's no way for our people to contact each other. So can you please do something about that? Because it would be a really helpful tool. So, and then she said, oh, by the way, I'm going on vacation for 3 days.
I did. It was one of our members.
True story.
Like, we want to communicate with each other. We want to communicate with you. How can we could all help each other? We're like, yes.
So I made a pot of coffee and stayed up for about, I'm not joking,
a week,
24 to 36 hours. I'm not joking about this.
Yeah.
And myself designed successplant.com, which is our online community. It is the name will soon change to LandClick, like a click in a high school, not CLICK. Mm-hmm. CLIQUE, like a Frenchie.
Mm-hmm. LandClick.
So if you think this is a pile of malarkey, and I don't blame you, I think I would too. Go to successplant.com and ask people.
Right.
Say, hey, what is it with these two idiots that are on my iPhone every day? they think they're funny. They're not. Check out your own sources. We theoretically have some competitors. Go check them out.
I gotta share some few things about it. And the thing about this is, and it's not really just about us and what we do, but in everything. Don't take our word for it. Even like you're talking to sellers, don't take their word for it. Go check the taxes for yourself, by the way. Always do your own homework.
That's right.
Whether it's about us, a property you're buying, dream it up. Always double check. You're not crazy.
What I've noticed about if I could build a member profile of Land Academy members, mm-hmm. they are very researchy and geeky.
Yes, that's a good point.
They're nerds. We all are.
You're right. Some of our most successful members were the ones who were the most critical.
They're very skeptical.
So they did the most mm-hmm. homework and really checked things out. And I encourage it all the time. I tell you all, they email me questions. I'm like, don't ask me, go ask the members. They'll tell you. And that's what I wanted to share too, is not only is our online community, there and free and open, it's not filtered. It's real. They will tell you. Yeah. And there's fun. If you dig deep, especially in the beginning, though, there's funny stuff in there. Remember the time people were talking about when we were first starting our show, some of our people were piping in about the Michigan accent coming out and the funny things Jack says. Actually, it was the crap Jack says. That was funny. So there's all kinds of good stuff in there too, but it's all real and check it out. And I want to parlay this into something else, which is your buyers check you out. So just like we're telling you, check everything out, check us out. Do the backstory. Go check our LinkedIn. Go check everywhere, and you should. And you need to know that your buyers do this about you. Everybody does this about you. It's not just your employers.
It's the way the world is.
Dating.
Mm-hmm.
Dating, they do that. I'm sure that on first dates or they just meet a guy, I'm positive that girls run home. They probably do it in the bathroom, actually, to look up the guy at the bar on Facebook and make sure, just make sure he's not crazy. I mean, like the bathroom in the bar. I mean, I've never seen it, but I'm sure it happens.
I was in Best Buy yesterday with number 3 kid. And I walked around the store and I said, come here, to the kid. Come here, let's walk around the store. Look at these people. And everyone was whatever they were looking at, they were standing in an aisle looking at some item and staring into their phone, checking the price.
Ah.
They're researching it.
Yeah.
You know, am I going to buy this here? I'm going to buy it on Amazon. I'm
I
sure
do
that's
that
what
too.
it was. I do too. I
All
do
the time.
everything. I research the heck out of stuff
And then-
to the point where it makes people in my life like Jill nauseous.
Oh, totally. Like, knock it off. Then we have to have the conversation. Are we really going to run home and save $10? Or
Yeah.
you just want it right now? Let's just not think about that.
Right.
So you do have to just go through some of that stuff.
Yeah.
That is so
I don't
true.
buy groceries online, and I should.
Oh, we should.
you?
No, we should. I don't. I'm trying to think. There's so many things that I don't do online.
Number 3 said to me yesterday, in the future, will there be no stores? And I said, you know what? And then I really had to think about it.
Don't
And I
think
said, I think in the future, it's going to be like Tesla.
It's going to be very interesting.
You don't go to a dealer. Tesla doesn't have dealerships. They have like a little store in a mall, in malls.
Right.
And then you don't test drive it or anything. You look at it, and then
Pick
you
the color.
order it. Literally have a kiosk, and you order it on there, and they
Right.
deliver it to your house. How efficient is that?
They really deliver
How
it
did
to your
this-
house?
Yeah. How did this dealership model ever come about?
Didn't know that.
I mean, actually, I know the answer to that question, but I don't want to bore you.
It's kind of like the real estate agent question thing.
It
Is that
happened-
what it is?
it happened-
Wait, are car dealers came about because of like real estate agents?
Car dealers came about because of Henry Ford. They were taking so many orders for the Model T, like, out of Detroit, but people in California were ordering Model Ts and they couldn't get them there fast enough, one at a time. So they bought, they'd get a building and store them in there. And then probably Henry Ford's idea, I don't know, said, why don't we just sell them right out of there? And it's expensive. Why don't we shift all this on to somebody else who's not affiliated with us, an independent person, and they can
Deal with it.
They can deal with the customers. We don't want to deal with the customers. We only want 1,000 customers. We don't want 7 million customers.
Right.
Hey, that's kind of like our model.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
They wholesale them out, and the dealer makes some money.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah. It sucks to walk into a dealership, though. I'll tell you that. I'll leave it at that.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
I don't know whose fault that is.
You know what? I'm trying to think if you and I have ever done that together, and I don't think we have.
I don't have any patience for that.
No, because my last car, you were kind of along for the ride, and you were like my mechanic, if you will. You're just kind of
Yeah.
giving it the once over.
That was a muscle.
You were the muscle. I did all the stuff. And then when we got the car for number 1, we had a good friend.
Well, that's why we never go
Yeah.
because we have a friend who's a used car dealer, and we just
That's
call
it.
him and
Because I'm not sure we'd be here today if we tried to buy a car together.
actually, I'm sure. Well, I embarrass Jill sometimes because I don't have any patience for this crap.
Oh my goodness. I remember you telling me a story where you went to that friend of ours when you were just getting to know him, and you said, look, here's the deal. This is my checkbook. Here is my pen. If you can guarantee I'm going to be out of here in less than 10 minutes or whatever your
We bought
timing
a car
was.
from him in 10 minutes.
Yeah. Then you said, this check will have your name on it. Otherwise, I'm walking.
Yep. And you know what he said?
Yeah.
You're a freaking customer. Yeah. You think I want to sit here and talk to you any longer than I have to? I'll do it in 6 minutes. He's from New Jersey, too. I love this guy.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really
His name's
good.
Evan.
Yep.
And he lives
awesome.
next door to our attorney / friend.
Yep.
And every time I just call
funny.
him and say, I need a car for X, he's like, great.
Put in an order.
And he marks them up $500. That's his whole thing. He's like, I'm going to buy it. This is how much I'm buying it for from another dealer or wherever he gets it. And my margin's $500 on this.
Yep.
And that's what he makes.
Yep.
Not just on us, on everything. He's real transparent like that. And I'm sure that's one of the reasons he's so successful.
Yeah.
I would love for a dealer to really tell me what the cost is. There's all this other stuff that goes on.
Oh,
There's games that you can
gosh.
play. Just say, well, how much is it? And I'm marking it up $500, and then now we'll shake hands, and that's it.
No, it's so frustrating. It's ridiculous. When you look at
You're
the
a professional
sticker,
salesperson.
You
Why-
look at the
why
sticker,
is
it
it?
makes my eyes hurt. I'm like, what the heck? Why do I have to do this? Why do I have to do that? That's not the way I roll. That's not what I want to do. So
Car costs $24,000. I'm making $800 on it. That's all. That's it. That's all I want to know.
And I don't think that has to do with being a salesperson. I mean, a good salesperson is just gets it done. A good salesperson knows when someone's a tire kicker and someone's really serious. I mean, it has nothing to do with negotiating or anything like that. They're just finding the right people and then properly conveying what it is, and that's it.
I'm in the process of buying a car, so I'm doing it online, and this is actually to the point of this about checking your sources. There's a car website out there called Car Gurus, I think it's called, and they gauge the deals that way. They say this is $5,000 above what it should be or below, or this is a great deal, and they sort them all that way. The default sort is the best deals first that are closest to you.
Oh. What about that whole concept? Like isn't there a place that you can email or put in you were telling me this, you can put in your order basically.
For new cars, yep.
Right, and then it'll be a bidding war with the sellers.
Yeah, so
the dealers.
You put the make and the model in the year, the make and model and the colors even, and you say, and then it goes to a network all over the country. And you generally don't want to buy a car in the same state where you're taking delivery because you can theoretically, not that I would ever do this.
Oh boy, here it comes.
Avoid sales tax. So,
hey, we just said we're transparent. Tell it like it is, Jack.
I just did. So
okay.
No, it's great. It's like the Uber of cars. They bid it. This is how it should work.
I agree.
The consumer takes control back.
Right.
And so, it might be a dealer in Rhode Island or something like that that's got the best car and the delivery and the whole thing. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen one for used cars, only new cars.
Okay. I think it's brilliant.
Me too.
Someone should do that.
So don't take our word for it. That's the whole point here.
Yes.
Just go and check our competition. Check on anything. Be a researcher. I realize time is scarce in this day and age, but within reason, you really should look into stuff. Mm-hmm. There's a right way and a wrong way to do it for your personality.
And there's no excuses with the internet nowadays. Or what did our first intranet?
Interweb.
Go check the interweb.
Join us in another episode where Jack and Jill discuss how to use information, that's me,
and inspiration and keeping Jack in line, that's me,
to get just about anything you want.
We use it every day to buy property for half of what it's worth and sell it immediately.
You are not alone in your resource quest. Yikes.
Whoa.
What the hell was that?
I don't know. That's good. Nice. Good thinking on your feet there.
Jeez. What's going on today with you?
It's not raining.
You're happy? That's what it is.
It is not raining.
It's been raining in California and Arizona.
Yeah, we can't get away from
3 weeks.
it. Shucks, everybody's giving us a hard time in Arizona because we left California and then we bring the rain here. Like, oh, sorry.
It's sunny now.
Yep, it's okay now. But then it's going to start raining again in a couple days. So it is what it is. Hey, you know what? Both places need it.
Yeah, everything's green here in Arizona. We're in Arizona right now.
You know what else? We are smack dab into 2017 in January, and the holidays are over. Everybody's showing up. It's because it's January. I think that's why I'm happy too. I'm talking to people, and they have a whole different attitude, a whole different mindset. Everybody's made some good decisions, and they're like powering forward, and it's really nice.
Yeah, say buyers and sellers are same thing because, everybody's got a short little checklist theoretically, whether it's written down or not. Mm-hmm. And it's a lot of sellers are like, one of the things I'd like to get done in this year is to sell this darn piece of property I'm not using, and I don't want it to take until December.
Exactly.
I might as well just sign a letter that I just got.
Exactly.
Because it's not about price for me; it's just about checking it off my list.
Totally.
Information and inspiration to buy undervalued property.
We are Jack and Jill, and this was the Cash Flow from Land Show.
We are the experts at acquiring property
Of all kinds, not just land.
for half price, just so we can flip it for way more.
And really fast. Thanks for listening. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.